To order the Seeing and Doing Teacher's Notes for the spring term, price £1.10, anthologies 1 and 2, price £3.95 each, and the Shape Up software, price £17.75, please contact your local ITV company. Alternatively, send a cheque or postal order to Schools Publications Office, Thames Television, 149 Tottenham Court Road, London W1P 9LL.
Do you know what we call these birds? Well, if you said water birds, then you'd be right. And they live on the water because it's in there where they find their food. And they're very good at swimming and diving for it. There are many kinds of water birds, and some are very colourful. But it's the ducks which you're most likely to find in a village pond or in a park lake. So let's have a closer look at them. But have you noticed something else about these water birds? They spend much of their time on and under the water. But they don't get wet. How do you stay dry when you're out in the rain? You wear a raincoat. But these water birds don't wear a raincoat. They're covered in feathers. And they have a very special way of making their feathers waterproof. And this is how they do it.
Near the tail is a special place which makes a kind of oil. The bird rubs its beak and face over this spot to pick up the oil and spread it carefully over all its feathers. This oil keeps the water out. If feathers become wet, the bird would get cold and probably sink. So water birds must spend a great deal of time every day looking after their feathers. Water birds are very much at home on the water. When they come out, it gives us a chance to see something else which makes these birds special: their feet. The toes are joined to each other by skin. Feet like this are called webbed feet. In the water, they use their webbed feet to paddle along. Their feet under the water. The water birds we can most easily see are called mallards. The male and the female look very different. The male, called a drake, has a beautiful green head, yellow beak and white collar, and its body is a pale grey. The female, the duck, is a light brown with dark streaks all over its body. In a park, mallards can be so tame they may feed from your hand, but most of their food is plants growing under the water, and they upend to get it. All along the backwater, through the rushes tall, ducks are a-dabbling, up tails all. Ducks' tails, drakes' tails, yellow feet a-quiver, yellow bills all out of sight, busy in the river. Baby ducks are called ducklings. And very soon after hatching, they can walk and swim. For safety, the ducklings stay close to their mother. But unlike many other birds, the mother does not have to feed them. They can find food for themselves straight away. The ducklings never stray too far away from their mother. Another common duck is a tufted duck. And again, the male and the female look very different. Tufted ducks find their food by diving under the water to search for insects. Nearly all water birds are good flyers. Many of them fly long distances, and when coming down onto water, they use their webbed feet like water skis to slow them down. The swan can often be seen sailing majestically across the water. Its very long neck is used to reach deep down to eat the plants that grow under the water. The baby swans are called cygnets, and when they grow up, they will turn into beautiful swans. A goose is another long-necked water bird. They often come on land to graze on the grass. Nearby, a coot watches them from its nest of twigs. Coots look very different, right down to their toes, which are not fully webbed. Unlike the ducklings, the baby coots rely on their parents for food. But the food is down at the bottom, so the parent has to dive for it. Watch how it does it. If you are lucky, you might see a great crested grebe with its striped young. It has a long beak and 2 crests on each side of its head, which makes them a very distinctive bird. The young can sometimes be seen riding on the backs of their parents. The grebe is an expert diver. It can stay underwater for a very long time. It is not only on the water itself where you might see water birds. If there are some trees growing near the water's edge, don't forget to look up, because you might see one of these, a heron. The heron is the largest fish-eating bird in this country. At the water's edge, herons will wait and wait until a fish swims close by. Like most fishermen, herons prefer bigger fish, but before it is swallowed, the fish is carefully turned round to slip down head first. High in the trees, the heron's nest is a large bundle of twigs. The parent returns with its catch of fish for the hungry young. Baby herons need a lot of food, so the parents are kept very busy fishing. Here is the most colourful water bird of all, the tiny kingfisher, watching for a small fish. And it's got one. But this one's for the young in the nest. This one has its eye on a stickleback. Success, but the fish is struggling to get away. Just watch how the kingfisher deals with it.
Water birds are often very colourful and amusing to watch, each one well suited to living on the water. At a park lake, the birds are often used to people, and that makes them much easier to see. So the next time you go to a pond or a lake, watch to see how the birds feed, which ones dive or upend, and how they use their webbed feet to paddle along. But don't fall in. Remember, the water is their home and not yours.